Hi, I'm Jim Wells. We're here at Cohn Wolfe today with freelance blogger Annie Scott, who blogs for the AOL network. We wanted to chat with her today to really help PR professionals learn how to do their job a little bit better, and also to get her take on how the FTC regulations and guidance has affected her job. So Annie, I know you work with PR professionals every day. You probably get bombarded with emails every day. So why don't you tell everyone who you blog for and sort of, how overwhelmed you might get by pitches from PR people.
Well, I blog for Luxist.com and Gadling.com, which are AOL websites, and also for Tonic.com, which is a positive news outlet. It's kind of fun, anti-CNN. And as far as how bombarded I get, I would say I get probably 30 pitches a day, which is not bad. I get rid of them if they're of no use to me. I would say what really bothers me is when I get a lot of follow-ups from pitches I didn't respond to, because I'm not going to sit and go through each one and write out personal rejections. That would be a full-time job. So when I get a follow-up email about something I didn't respond to, I'm sort of like...
So given the new FTC guidance around client endorsements and testimonials, I wanted to get a sense from you sort of how that has impacted your job and really to know whether or not PR people are really mentioning this to you with respect to their client.
PR people honestly don't bring it up very much. And in all fairness, I wouldn't say that it's impacted me a whole lot. I think it's just a question of ethics. If you're taking payouts from some other company to write about their product, that's obviously ethically weird. I think blogging was sort of founded on the principle of you're going to get the honest deal about this product or about this place or whatever it is. And I think it's strange that blogging was singled out, actually, by the FTC, and that they aren't requiring that of magazine people or newspaper people or any other media outlets.
Yeah, the Interactive Advertising Bureau actually posted about complaining about how it might be unconstitutional and that they're creating a separate set of rules for the class of digital media. So I can get where you're coming from on that. Have you had any other experiences with other bloggers that were sort of outraged by this, or?
Yeah, a colleague of mine on Gadling wrote a big long thing about why press trips are necessary. Because, nobody gets into journalism for the money. So if you're a journalist writing about luxury travel, chances are you can't afford to go to those places on your own. And I would rather read an article by someone who's actually been to the luxury hotel or been to the luxury destination than by someone who's writing it off of the press release. And that was another thing that he mentioned as well, was that you ought to have to disclose that you wrote this entire article off a press release and you've never actually been there.
Yeah. So, Annie, there's been some, concern within social media that, you can pay for access to a network of bloggers, whether that means taking out advertising, which means, bloggers in turn will write about you, or even just strictly paying bloggers to write about your product or service. We'd love to get your thoughts on, how that impacts the industry and sort of what your experience has been with that.
Well, to me, that's an unethical practice. If my bosses were to tell us, we just got $5 million from so-and-so, please blog about them, I would think that was kind of a dirty practice. I wouldn't like that. On the other hand, in cases where they're paying for an advertisement to be sent, like, let's say I have a Blogspot blog. Let's say Blogspot gets money from some camera to pitch all their Blogspot people. That's just like getting an advertisement from anywhere else. If advertisers are silly enough to pay for something like that, then they can get what's coming to them.
Got it. So, as a last question, we'd love to know what sort of advice you would give PR people. Would you recommend, reaching out and building a relationship differently with a digital influencer as you would, say, a traditional media reporter over at, say, the New York Times?
Well, for the most part, I would say that working with digital media is exactly the same. One thing that is a little bit different is PR people should not write bloggers and say, "What are you working on?" Or, I write 6 articles a day, and I got an email yesterday that was, "Are you doing anything for Valentine's Day?" And it's like, yeah, I am. That's how the internet works. We do whatever's current. So it's a little bit different from print media, where they've got a 2-month lead time and they're collecting items for this kind of a feature. We're collecting items all day, every day. So just send us what you got.
Annie, thank you for taking the time to come here and chat with us today.
Sure.
And obviously, if any of our PR colleagues have any questions, they can find you, by typing Annie Scott, and take a look at any of the number of blogs that you write for. Yes.
Yep. Sure.
Great.